My name is David Gesk. I teach here at Woodbridge High School. I'm in the mathematics department. I teach honors pre-calculus, but don't worry tonight, I will not be teaching mathematics. Instead, I'll be referring to mindfulness and being present in the moment. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little activity, okay? You're gonna be in your seats, but I need you to focus on your breath, okay? So what you're gonna do is breathe for me. But first, when you breathe, I want you to inhale and exhale. But when you inhale, I don't want you to inhale and breathe in and suck your belly in, okay? When you inhale, your air should go into your mouth, down your lungs, and your belly should expand. So when you inhale, and when you exhale, you should tighten your core and exit all of your air out. And you're gonna close your eyes, because you shouldn't be looking at anything or anyone. So play along with me. I can see you now, I'm out of the spotlight. So you close your eyes for a moment, okay? And I first want you to take an exhale, and then I want you to take an inhale, and keep your eyes closed, and then an exhale. Now this time we're gonna do it and we're gonna take a little bit longer. So when you inhale, I want you to inhale for about 3 seconds. And then I want you to exhale for about 3 seconds. And I want you to do it again. Okay, so you're doing this, you're inhaling and you're exhaling. Now when you're doing this, I want you to observe your physical surrounding with your eyes closed. So I want you to observe your body. Maybe the seat, maybe you're fidgety, maybe your chair is uncomfortable, maybe your feet hurt. I want you to observe maybe the texture of the air. I want you to observe the sounds with your eyes closed. And I want you to observe your thoughts. Where are your thoughts? Are you thinking about when you go home, you have a list of homework assignments you have to do, or the dishes, or some kind of checklist of activities, okay? So if you found this to be easy, then you're very present. You're aware of what's happening. If you found this to be difficult, then you're like me, struggling with this. And about 7 years ago, I found myself to feel imbalanced. I teach, and so we have 150 students. I have 3 daughters at home. I have a wife. And so I found myself, when I was at school, sometimes I wasn't completely present on my students and what they needed. When I was at home, I was not always completely present with what either my wife or my children needed. And in my mind, I was either in the present, I was in the future, I'm sorry, or in the past. My mind was racing with the things I have to do, the list of activities I need to accomplish. And so this brought me to sort of valuing the breath, okay? Because what it will do is it will relax your mind and it will relax your body. And hopefully, it'll allow you to be more present. Because after all, the people that are in front of you at that moment are the most important. What you're doing in the moment is the most important. But this is a struggle because when we're in the moment, we have a lot of chatter in our heads. Oftentimes we're thinking about the next thing, or we're thinking about something that happened before, or you're thinking about an event that occurred earlier that day. It's just human. We all do this. So my story is to value the breath and to pay more attention to my breath and my mind and my thoughts and my body. So I would like to introduce you to your oldest friend, okay? Your oldest friend I'm referring to is your breath. From the day you were born, the moment you entered this beautiful world, you took a breath as a baby, okay? Now, this breath is with you all the time. It's with you when you're bored. It's with you when you're excited. It's with you when you're alone. It's with you when you're with your friends. It will be with you. It's the last thing you'll do before you pass into the next. So it's this breath that is really powerful. That's really what I want to talk about today. So if you look at the Greek language for breath, pneuma. Click that again. So the Greek word for breath not only means breath, it means spirit. It means your soul. All these words are, the same word is interchangeable with its vocabulary. If you look at the Sanskrit word for breath, it's prana. Prana is, if you ever look up the word prana, Sanskrit, one word may have an entire page devoted to its definition. But it means life force, it means breath, it means energy. It's all of these things. And as these ancient cultures knew, your breath is extremely important. If you look at even common research right now, even Stanford has this big experiment with the breath. And something simple is, if your breath is fast, your heart rate is fast. If your breath slows down, your heart rate slows down. It's a way to relax ourselves. It's a way to calm yourself. And it's something it's important to potentially check into every now and then. Click. So it is with us all the time. It's with us when we love something or dislike something, when we're happy or we're sad, when we're in public or we're in isolation, when you're in pain and when you're in discomfort. Your breath changes during all these different events. So, what I would encourage you to try is to connect with your breath, but when you breathe, think about your thoughts. Even right now, think about your ability to focus and truly be present with what's happening right now. So, try to connect with your breath and observe your thoughts without judgment, but observe your thoughts and observe your body, okay? So we'll continue. So I would encourage you to try focusing on your breath at different times of the day. So for instance, try doing it when you first wake up. When you get out of bed, before you have, if you drink coffee or anything like that, observe your mind and observe your body and observe your breath at that time. Try doing it after you eat. This is probably one of the most powerful. You'll find the food you eat will change your ability to focus. And if you actually pay attention to your breath after you eat, you might find certain foods are better for you than others. But this is something for you to decide as you kind of make this mental decision to focus on the breath. Try it in the middle of the day. Try it perhaps at the end of the day before you go to bed. So my goal is for you to observe your breath at different times of the day and observe what your body, the physical body, is telling you, and your thoughts are encouraging you to do. And this leads me to something else I've been practicing for many years, and that is this activity called yoga. Now, the word yoga, it doesn't mean posture. It actually means union. It means yoke. The definition of yoga is a Sanskrit word as well, and it's very long. But when they refer to union, they're referring to the union of your mind with your body. So the yoga is the poses, but the poses by themselves are meaningless. Okay, they don't mean anything. A handstand or a stretching a certain pose, that's not the goal of yoga. The goal of yoga is to move your body with your breath. And as you're moving your body with your breath, you're observing your body and you're observing your thoughts. So sort of like this observing yourself. Click, click. So you move from posture to posture, and you realize that some of them you like and some of them you dislike, kind of like sort of school. Some of the classes, some of the moments of the day you enjoy. Some of the moments of the day you probably don't enjoy. So I encourage you to observe your thoughts and observe perhaps your breath during those different moments and see if you can alter your breath, and maybe you can better tune into what your mind is telling you. Click. So the practice is to acknowledge ourselves in each posture and just to make an observation. So I'm going to leave you with a little story. Okay, and this is a story, a children's story that I read with my daughters. And it comes from a book with many little vignettes. Sorry. Oh, yes. So here it is. I don't know if you can see this. In this story, I'll read it to you. It's called The Heavy Load. Okay? It says, 2 traveling monks reached a town where there was a young woman waiting to step out of her sedan chair. The rains had made deep puddles, and she couldn't step across without spoiling her silken robes. She stood there looking very cross and impatient. She was scolding her attendants. They had nowhere to place the packages they held for her, so they couldn't help her cross the puddle. The younger monk noticed the woman and said nothing, and walked by. The older monk quickly picked her up and put her on his back. He transported her across the water. He put her down on the other side. She didn't thank him. She didn't thank the older monk. She just shoved him out of the way and departed. As the 2 monks continued on their way, the young monk was brooding and preoccupied. After several hours, unable to hold his silence, he spoke out. That woman back there was very selfish and rude, but you picked her up on your back and you carried her. She didn't even thank you. The older monk said, I set the woman down hours ago. Why are you still carrying her? And I'm going to leave with another Sanskrit word. It's the word namaste. And you can probably hear it a lot. Many different interpretations. This one, I think it's a beautiful one, so I wanted to share it as my last slide. But the word namaste could be interpreted as, I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you, which is of love, light, peace, and joy. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. So I'd like to thank you for tonight. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.